The siren sound cut through the parking lot as she screamed, "Tow him now!" I was still getting my wheelchair out when her son parked his red Corvette right on my handicap spot. He didn't even turn the engine off. He smirked and said, "Relax, it's just for a minute." Karen stood there with her arms crossed like she owned the whole place. I pointed at the blue sign and said, "That spot is for me." She laughed. "My son lives here. You don't." Then she pulled out her phone and started recording me. "Look, everyone, he's causing trouble." My hands shook. Not from fear, but from anger. My daughter watched from the car, eyes wide. Karen leaned closer and whispered, "Move somewhere else, or I'll make this hard." I took a slow breath and rolled away. I didn't argue. I didn't shout. Because while she thought she won that moment, she had no idea what that parking spot really came with, or who was already watching the cameras. That night, the rain came down hard and the lot cameras kept rolling. Her son left the Corvette there all night, blocking the sign like it was a joke. Around midnight, Karen sent an HOA email saying the handicap sign was temporary and would be removed. I read it twice. My daughter asked, "Dad, are they allowed to do that?" I didn't answer. I opened a folder on my laptop instead. Old emails, permits, photos. Then my phone buzzed. A neighbor texted, "She's bragging. Says no one can touch her kids' car." I looked outside. At the empty spot next to my van, the one I paid extra for, the one tied to my name. I sent one short message back. "Don't worry. Morning will be loud." Then I closed the laptop, calm again, because Karen still thought this was just about a parking space. Morning came with a metal scream. I was already outside when the tow truck rolled in. Lights flashing but quiet, like it knew this was personal. Karen ran out in slippers, yelling, "You can't touch that car!" Her son followed, half asleep, face going pale. The driver didn't look at them. He looked at me and asked, "You the one?" I nodded once. Karen waved her phone. "This is HOA property," she shouted. The driver pointed at the sign, then at the permit taped inside my van window. "City permit? Federal protection," he said. Her son stepped closer and whispered, "Come on, man. I'll move it now." The hook dropped anyway. Metal kissed metal. Karen screamed like someone stole her air. I stayed quiet watching the Corvette rise, because that was the moment she realized this wasn't revenge. It was procedure. And procedures don't care who your mom is. She didn't stop screaming when the truck left. She followed me to my door, pointing, shaking, saying my name like it was a threat. "You planned this," she said. "I'll report you. I'll say you threatened my son." I didn't answer. I just turned on my phone and placed it on the railing. She froze for half a second, then kept talking. That was her mistake. 10 minutes later, 2 patrol cars rolled in. Karen smiled again, that same look. She rushed to them first, talking fast, crying loud. One officer nodded, then walked over to me. "Sir, can we see your ID?" I handed it over. He glanced down, then looked back up slower. "You're the registered holder for that handicap spot?" I said yes. He checked his tablet, then turned the screen toward Karen. Her smile slipped. "Ma'am," he said, calm but firm, "this spot is protected." "False reports are serious." Karen tried to laugh it off. "I didn't know." The officer replied, "You were warned last month." That's when her son finally spoke. "Mom, you told me to park there." The air went dead. "Quiet." Karen snapped her head toward him like she wanted to stop time. "Don't talk," she hissed, too late. The second officer asked him to step aside. He did, slow, nervous. The officer didn't raise his voice. "Son, is this your car?" He nodded. "Did you know this was a handicap spot?" The boy swallowed. She said it was fine. "She said the rules don't apply to us." Karen jumped in, waving her hands. "I'm on the HOA board. I can approve things." The officer looked up from his tablet. "HOA rules don't cancel state law." He tapped a few times, then spoke again. "Also, this vehicle was towed legally. No appeal." Karen's face went red. She stepped closer to me and whispered, "You think you won?" I leaned in just enough and said, "This wasn't even the part I planned." Her eyes flicked back to the officers, and for the first time, she looked scared. Karen tried to step back, but the supervisor raised his hand. "Stay right there." Her face went pale. She looked around, hoping someone would save her. No one did. Neighbors stood on their porches, phones up, quiet. The supervisor spoke slow. You called this in as an emergency. You said a disabled man threatened your son. He turned his tablet toward her. The video played, clear sound, clear faces. Her son taking my handicap spot. Me asking him to move. Karen yelling, pointing, lying. Her mouth opened, then closed. That's out of context, she said. The supervisor didn't blink. Context doesn't change facts. He nodded to the officer. Issue the citation. Karen's voice cracked. For what? The officer said it flat. False report, harassment, interfering. With a protected parking space. Her son muttered, Mom, I told you. She snapped at him again, but weaker this time. I finally spoke, calm and low. I just wanted to park. The supervisor looked at me and nodded. You did everything, right? Karen stood there, frozen as the pen scratched paper, and that sound hit her harder than any shout ever could. The tow truck rolled in slow, chains clinking, and this time no one argued. Karen's son watched his Corvette get lifted like it was nothing. He didn't yell anymore. He didn't laugh. He just stood there, hands in his pockets, eyes down. Karen tried one last time. This is unfair, she said, almost begging now. The officer shook his head. What's unfair is using your power on the wrong people. When the truck pulled away, the lot went quiet. A woman from the next building walked over and smiled at me. About time, she said. Others nodded. One man clapped once, then stopped, like he wasn't sure if it was okay. The supervisor handed me a card. If you ever have trouble again, call this number directly. I thanked him. Karen didn't look at me as she walked off. She looked small. Later that evening, I parked in my spot. No cones, no notes, just space. My kid asked, Dad, are we okay now? I smiled and said, Yeah, we are. And for the first time in a long while, it felt true.